A new pack has arrived, and it's the pack that basically everybody in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel community has been waiting for or dreading. Either way, it is here now, and this is going to be a budget review, so I will be actually having a look in, well, not if it's worth it to buy the pack, because usually it is quite worth it to buy this pack that contains a tier 0 possibly contender for the next meta. Problematic though, I will be looking at how expensive this is going to be for you, and I don't know, if you're a budget player, should you actually be investing in this? The answer will still be yes, but there is more to this deck than to this pack than just the whole tier element stuff. There's more in here that you can actually be playing as a budget duelist, so even opening these packs, trying to get as many tier elements as possible, will not leave you with nothing, and this is one of the important ones. For example, best example is the new one. Obviously it's an ultra rare, the new Sylvan card, but it's amazing for not only if you want to be playing Sylvans, which aren't like super expensive if you don't count the Sylvan draw spell, which is, well, quite a good card, but sometimes you obviously have to make certain adjustments if you don't want to be playing the deck at full power / full rarity, that is. But this card is also good for an incredible number of plant decks. Rika, for example, works pretty well with, you can play this in Sun Avalon to get certain combos of. It's technically not as good in Sun Avalon because obviously you can't use the monsters you special summon as link materials, but this card also level modulates, and you can still go into rank whatever 4, rank 8 monsters in the whole Sun Avalon combos anyway. So this card in general, very good value. If you don't have Melfi so far, there's basically every Melfi card in this pack that you kind of need. I don't know if there's any high rarity Melfi card missing, but we have Joy's Melfis, we have Melfi Mommy in case you want to be playing that one. We also have the new Melfi, Melfi Wally. We have, I think, a new Melfi spell card, continuous spell card later on in the pack. Yes, we have Melfi Staring Contest, so that's quite fun. So basically with this, opening this pack, you will be gaining, depending on how much you put into this, you will be ending up on some playable Melfi deck. And then there is the new archetype, at least to Master Duel, which is the Vernuslyph. Vernuslyph also looks somewhat expensive because this card is sadly an ultra rare again. Would have been fine if this was a super rare and this one was just the only ultra rare. I would have been okay with, I guess most people would have been, but it is what it is. Konami makes decks a bit more expensive these days than they might have done at the start. But talking about expensive, we obviously have the card deck that everybody wants these days, Tier Element in here, which it is sadly how I thought it was going to be. I was hoping for, oh yeah, okay, they make like the fusions ultra rare, fair enough. Even Kid Colossus is super rare, but this card might be bad eventually, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Thing is, they didn't only make the good fusions ultra rares, which I would have hoped for, but they also made 2 main deck monsters ultra rares. I thought, okay, maybe Reinoheart, I can see that being an ultra rare, since any element from the deck to the graveyard, and so on and so on. So it's kind of a play starter. At worst, they're going to make this also an ultra rare. Nope. Not only this, Sharon also ultra rare. Obviously you can only run 2 because of the preemptive ban list. Not sure how much it hampers the deck. Field spell at 1, kind of annoying, but other than that, yeah, it is what it is. Also, talking about a field spell, also an ultra rare. Then Tier Element Scream, also an ultra rare for some reason. I will definitely not be playing this card in any of my budget decks because there's not really any need to. It's not a bad card, but if you want to be shaving down on some ultra rare stuff, then I feel like this one is one that I might be having to leave out, or maximum play at 1, but I don't think this will be the actual case. I'll have to look into that a tiny bit more. One other archetype that this deck actually supports, this pack, is the Amazoness deck, which is, I don't want to say decent because it has good cards now. There's some good cards, but the rarity is higher than I would want it to be for Amazoness. Like Spiritualist, a super rare, the effect is okay. It's not bad, but it's not amazing at all, I feel like, especially for the fact that it's super rare. I might be wrong, I've not really played Amazoness, but it doesn't read as if it's something crazy. Then we also have War Chief, who's also a super rare. I don't know if you had to make both of them super rares. Feels kind of a bit over the top, but is what it is. We obviously have Princess, not a new card, but already started out as an ultra rare, bit annoying, so there's that. If you want to be playing them, you kind of need triple Princess, or you used to. I don't know if that's still the case, but not very cheap either. There will be like certain variants how you can play this deck and make it a bit cheaper, but yes, you will end up, if you buy this pack, you will end up with decks that are playable, but it's not the cheapest, because even like Vernuslyph, you can see, oh, another super rare. What's this? Another super rare. And you will be playing them either as an engine, and for a budget engine, it's way too expensive. And if you play them as like a main kind of deck that does stuff, it's also still kind of expensive if you consider that you need 3 of a lot of those cards. We also have Pet Liger King in here, which gladly is only a super rare. If this was also an ultra rare, I would have lost my marbles in here. It is what it is. We have some other generic stuff that's super rare that can do things for like the Shizu deck, for example. Like this one does stuff. Technically, we also have a hand trap in here, although Gno material is the epitome of a 2-balanced hand trap. Your opponent has to special summon a monster, and you have to control no cards. So you can't use this card going first at all, because you will be controlling cards unless you play like what, Battle Fader Turbo, I don't know. So it's a bit like, it's too balanced. I tried to play this in the TCG when it came out, and I just felt like, no, over any other hand trap, basically, this card doesn't do all that much, although it was cheap in the TCG, so yay. It was, well, not when it came out, but the reprint was cheap, obviously, and I think the other card then became quite cheap as well, but yeah, didn't work out too well for me. And we have some cards that can also be played in tier elements if you want to go for this whole like Aqua kind of theme. It's probably not terrible if you want to go for like a pure version, I don't know, but it's a super rare as well. If this one was like a normal or rare, I might have included it in the deck to make up for the fact that it's so expensive, but for a budget channel like me, that does not do it. We also have the new Merry Melfies, the Synchro Monster. Don't know why they needed a Synchro Monster. I thought this deck was quite okay, just being an Exist themed deck. It is what it is. It has an adorable polar bear on here, just mentioning that because I found that hilarious, because I don't think I expected from colder regions animals to be included in this one, but it's quite nice, and it fits the theme of a synchro card because it's also, well, white, I don't know, like a polar bear. It is what it is. The thing is, the pack is okay, like it's giving you crazy value, but also if you don't have a lot of gems to be investing into this, then it's kind of annoying, because you, with like, let's say you have like 3,000 gems and you don't want to be spending more on it, or you don't have more, or you don't want to invest real money, then you won't really be getting anything out of this, because first of all, you won't be getting a whole deck out of this in the first place. Second of all, then you'd have to spend a crazy amount of crafting material of actually getting these cards, because they're all like high rarity cards, at least the ones they need for the deck. So in theory, if you're very, 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 very short on gems or on crafting material, maybe actually don't buy this pack and sit it out a little bit till tier elements go away, and then maybe invest into the next big thing. I don't know. It's okay if you want to just play in gold or like in even silver, then I don't think this pack matters all that much to you. If you want to be playing Amazoness, you can still craft them and possibly invest into some other packs then, and gain more value out of this one, because this one is crazy expensive. Yes, the value you get from those cards pretty good, because I think Vernuslyph isn't a bad deck either. Melfies are fairly playable. Amazoness, don't know, but I mean, it's a deck in the end. And obviously tier element, mega, mega, mega strong, but mega expensive. So I'm still on the fence if I want to say like, yes, buy this pack regardless. I don't think it's quite like that, because if you only have like a certain amount of gems, then it isn't really worth it, because you will be getting parts, bits of this and this and this and that, which we'll see how good that actually works out in the end. It might, but even things like Amazoness Hot Spring is like a super rare for absolutely no reason. Basically every Vernuslyph card is a super rare, because we have this one now, we have this one now, we have two of the main deck ones are, then we have the main deck one that is an ultra rare at level 4, so it's very, very, very annoying. Let's quickly graze through the cards that actually I'm looking the most forward to, because those are the cards that actually work out for me. We have some of this kind of stuff, some pack filler things. We have a Vernuslyph that actually is not a super rare, which is hilarious. We have Melfi Penny Fun, that's the tuner, that's the ice themed kind of thing, which is quite hilarious actually. Propagandig, I don't know how to pronounce this, I don't know if I want to. Funny cards, but nothing more than that. We have some Amazoness stuff that is actually not expensive. We have some tier element stuff that's not expensive, but considering how many cards they do have, it wasn't too much of a surprise that some of them, well, I mean, it's Konami in the end, we don't know, but some of them are not super expensive. Might want to go down the route of doing tier element trap control at this point. Who knows what I'll be coming up with deck profile wise. So if you want to have, well, if you invested in this pack and you're not sure what you should build with it because you only got certain cards and you're not sure, can I actually make a deck out of this, stay tuned. I will be trying to make decks with these cards, trying to make them as cheap as possible, but we'll see how much I can succeed in this because I am not full of hope when it comes to this one. I've checked out the cards now, and yeah, this is going to be incredibly expensive. We have more Vernuslyph stuff actually in the rare slots. We have some Amazonas stuff in the rare slots. I can't see how good these cards are yet because Amazonas is something that hasn't really been on my radar for too long. We have basically every Melfi card is in here, so you will in the end be ending up with a full Melfi card. We have some of the limited ones, obviously are not the ultra rare ones, the normal rare ones and the rare ones, yay, who would have thought. But there is some tier element stuff in here that you can still use as an engine. Like, you will get away with probably using like 3-4 ultra rares or 5 with tier elements and then stuffing it with the other normal stuff and combining it with some other cheap deck that possibly doesn't need any ultra rares, hopefully. Shrug, I don't know, we will see. And more Vernuslyph stuff, I don't know if these cards are, I don't think those are the ones that you necessarily want to be playing if you use them as a beast, whatever engine kind of thing, but yeah, in the end, it is what it is. Even more Melfi stuff, you will literally be ending up with a full Melfi things, and we have more of the tier element traps. Some of them are good, some of them are a bit useless, but at least they are all normal rares, so there is that, and some more Vernuslyph stuff. If you want to go with a pure variant, I think you can use them as an engine, but I've not looked overly much into them as well. I kind of know how they work, but that's about it. So in the end, buy the pack if you have enough gems. Invest real money into it if you actually want to be playing competitive. Fair enough, then you will not really be getting around this unless the deck is so meta relevant that nobody else is playing something else, and then you can just build, basically, since it's best of one, you can build like the anti-meta deck with dimensional fissures and every graveyard hate card that you have, basically, and that will probably net you some wins on the ladder. So technically you might be even getting around this depending on how successful this deck in the end is going to be. It's a good deck, 100%, but we don't really know in a Master Duel setup if people are actually going to start giving up playing what they've played before and all going to be converting to the tier element variant. So we'll have to see how that goes in the next few weeks and months, but for now this is one of the decks to look out for. So if you have the gems, definitely invest in it. If you don't have the gems, it's a hard decision, because then you might as well just save them up for something that actually doesn't get banned in the near future and possibly gives you more joy and stuff. But yeah, this pack, very, very, very expensive. Hope you liked the set review. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, but most importantly, I hope you still have a nice day.